Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Burnt Pancakes Podcast. I am your host, Katie Fensky, and like always, I am reminding moms that everyone burns their first pancake. Today, I have an incredible conversation with you. I'm sitting down with two best friends, MC and Alexis. MC is a breast cancer survivor. She had breast cancer in 2021, and as a result of that, cannot carry her own children anymore. Her best friend, Alexis, has offered to be her surrogate. They're going to share their story and the ins and outs of what it means to be a surrogate. You're going to love these two. It's incredibly inspiring, and I can't wait to bring it to you. Okay, ladies, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
Yeah. Will you just take a quick second to introduce yourselves and tell us, because we're all moms here, how old your kids are?
Yes, I'm MC Underwood, and my daughter Ava is 4.5.
I'm Alexis, and my daughter is 6, and my son is 4.
Awesome. Okay, your story is incredible. It's about two besties. Can you tell us how long ago you guys met and how? How did you guys become best friends?
Oh, okay, so we met when our youngest, so when Hudson and Ava were like 7 months, 8 months old, and we actually met on Peanut, the app.
Oh, yes.
So it was like total fluke that I was even on there. I signed up to watch this webinar that was being sponsored by them. So it said I had to create an account. So I did. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. Like scrolling through, I never did the dating app thing. So I thought, oh, this is kind of fun. And then that's how we connected and we hung out. And then I think we've hung out every day since.
Oh my God, how fun. I do feel like sometimes meeting mom friends is like dating. Like,
it can be.
Can I share your number?
I know, right?
Oh, that's exciting. So I thought you guys knew each other like well before kids. So like kids, motherhood
kids
friends
together. I mean, it feels like we've known each other a lot longer.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Well, I felt like having kids, like I needed friends. Like I became very lonely when I had my first. So I was kind of like desperate to find friends. Okay. So your story is all about surrogacy, but it started with MC. You were diagnosed with breast cancer in 2021. Can you share a little bit about that journey and how that was for you?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed totally out of the blue. No family history. Like I tested negative for all the genes for it. So totally out of the blue. I was nursing my daughter at the time still. So I had swollen lymph nodes, which was kind of odd, but I kept going in and they kept saying like, oh, it was probably from like the flu vaccine or like just my body having an immune response. And they said, don't worry about it. And then I felt a little lump in my breast. And so I went in and it all was revealed from there. But I did chemo. I was able to keep my hair because I wore the cold cap. I don't know if you know about the cold caps.
No, you didn't lose your hair.
No, I it shedded a lot, but I kept majority of it. It was important to me to like look the same because of my daughter. I didn't want, she still doesn't.
I think that would be so hard.
So I did chemo, double mastectomy, removed some lymph nodes, and then did treatment, like maintenance treatment for a year. It came back as hormone positive breast cancer. Before it was hormone negative. So the hormone positive aspect of it is why I can't ever carry a pregnancy again, because there's so many hormones with pregnancy and it could react, like cause another reoccurrence. Just all the hormones from pregnancy could
trigger it
that.
again.
So I did chemo again. And then now I'm on maintenance treatment indefinitely, probably for like 10 years.
Oh gosh. So how often do you have to go in to get checked?
I do scans every 3 months, like PET scans. And then I do treatment. It's called Herceptin every 3 weeks with blood work. And then I take tamoxifen every day.
Are you so sick of doctors?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then every time you go in, does that like anxiety of what if it comes back? Do you, or is it getting like a little more distant? Like because it's traumatic. You went through something very traumatic.
Yeah. I think I know that it's out of my control. So I'm kind of like, I don't have that much anxiety about it coming back. I think I just know that it could. And if it does,
Got
there's
through it.
so many amazing treatments that I'll be fine. But yeah, I don't know. I stay busy with my daughter. Maybe that helps.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
To not think about
Keeps your
things. I
mind
don't
off
know.
of it. Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Okay. So Alexis, you offered to be her surrogate. Like, let's talk about that. How did that come up? What's your story behind that?
Yeah, so we kind of talked about it right when she was diagnosed. She went through the process of getting her eggs, doing the egg retrieval and everything. So
That was
we talked
before
about it.
chemo, right? Before
Uh-huh.
chemo? Okay.
Yeah.
Right before chemo. Yeah. They let me do it. Like literally I did it. And then the next day I started chemo.
Oh my God. How, from the time you found out that you were diagnosed with breast cancer until like this started, the chemo started, how much time was it
So
like get her?
I was diagnosed on November 5th, did my egg retrieval the 23rd of November, and then started chemo the 24th.
Wow. Were
So
you still breastfeeding or you had to stop then?
yeah, I had to stop like right away. Yeah, I know.
That's hard.
We had a good run though. I did it until my daughter was 21 months. So I feel
Oh, that's
very
incredible.
grateful that I got to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so you retrieved your eggs, then started chemo. Okay, and at the time it was just kind of like in the back of my mind, I know I can't have kids again on my own. Did you know at that point that you wouldn't be able to carry anymore or?
No, I didn't. Because it was hormone negative initially, my doctor wanted me to wait a year or maybe a little bit more. And then the plan was actually for me to carry the baby.
Okay.
And so I waited that whole year, even though Alexis actually, you wanted to do it even then.
Yeah, we talked about it, just like kind of with her diagnosis and everything, like the unknown, we just decided to hold off. But then once, things were looking good, is kind of when we started talking about it again.
Yeah. So then once it came back hormone negative or hormone positive, my doctor was like, yeah, no way, you need a surrogate. And then that's when we found a surrogate and who was lovely. She was great. I mean, amazing, but it just didn't work out with her, unfortunately.
Yeah. How do you go about finding someone? What was that process like?
Well, you can go through an agency, which is very expensive. And we weren't at a place where we were able to do that just because we knew we wanted more than one and we knew it was going to be so expensive. So I actually had just like my community share our story, and through social media is how we found her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because that would get expensive going through an agency and then paying all those, like, it's literally like IVF, all of those treatments.
Yeah. And an agency is really helpful because they're kind of the middleman. They
Okay.
facilitate everything, like the logistics with the lawyers and all that. But I felt like as long as I had the guidance from an attorney, I felt like I could
Do it on your own.
Yeah, and I did. And just because I found the right person. So
Yeah. What were some things you were looking for in a surrogate? Like, were there any like deal breakers? Like, no.
Yeah, I mean, the clinic has their own requirements and they're pretty strict. So that as long as they met that criteria and we got along, and which we're easygoing, so it wasn't hard to find somebody I got along with. But yeah, as long as they fit the criteria, I mean, they, can't smoke, drink, have a history of like mental health issues. They have a whole list. So it's, yeah. And they do
like
the
vet them
medical
for you.
Yeah. And then there's a site clearance process too. And it's a pretty long, like Alexis did it. It's like hours long, and her husband had to be involved in it. It's with a therapist, and they ask all these questions, and then they either clear you, they say, okay, you're like psychologically, cleared, or you're not.
Wow. Okay. So your first surrogate had a pregnancy loss. Is that right? I know that's like really hard to talk about, but do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So we had two. So she had a miscarriage in November.
Okay.
So we started this process October 2023.
Okay.
She had a miscarriage in November, and it was our only girl embryo, which like killed me because I know I really wanted my daughter Ava to have a sister. So that was very painful. And, but we were grateful to, you know, have more. We had 6 boy embryos. So we were so grateful for that. So
a lot of boys in there.
I know. We did another transfer in, February. And yeah, we lost him at 21 weeks, which was like, oh, I mean, it's been some time now. It was July 4th. So it's been some time, but yeah, it was like heartbreaking.
Oh, do they know why? Because that 21 weeks is so far along.
Yeah, there was restricted. So we lost him at 21 weeks. We went in for the anatomy scan and there was no heartbeat, which was like devastating. There was reduced blood flow. So, and the cord was wrapped. We don't know if that's like why, but it could have been that and something else. Yeah. So,
oh my gosh,
it's devastating. And I mean, she was such a wonderful surrogate, but it's, you know, after 2 losses, we were just advised not to try again with her. Otherwise we would have, but our doctor just said probably not the best idea. But we'll always, you know, be friends with her, and she's an amazing person. So
I'm grateful for that. Did you have a pretty good community around you with that loss?
Yes. I have really good friends. And, you know, like people's like true colors really show when when you go through something like that. So I think it made me a lot closer with certain people as well.
Right. Okay. So because I know it's always hard when someone's going through something like that to know what to do. Like, do I say the right thing? What was something that you felt was really helpful? Was it just like dropping off food or, you know, calling to see how you are? What helped you get through it?
I think, yeah, the check-ins, and then also just like doing like whatever it is that, you know, you think is going to be helpful, because when people would say, oh, let me know if you need this or that, I wasn't in a place where I was going to say, oh, hey, I need this. Can you bring that? You know, like when you're grieving, you're not going to take initiative like that and ask for something. So just the friends that just like showed up with, you know, flowers and food and we're checking in constantly, like that meant the most to us. And helping with our daughter too, because we try to like protect her as much as possible, and so we didn't tell her exactly what happened. We just said he needs to go to another tummy. But you know, we're grieving this huge loss, and so Alexis helped me so much with Ava, like just because we needed to be able to grieve and not have her see that.
And keep things normal for her when you're going through
exactly.
That. Yeah. A lot. Okay. So now, Alexis, you are going to be the surrogate. So how did that come? And like, what steps do you have to take? I know you kind of talked a little bit about that, but what did you have to go through to officially become the surrogate?
Yeah. So kind of after like this last loss, I looked at my husband and I said, I'm doing it. You know, this is something that I've been so passionate about for so long, and they've gone through so much and lost so much. I'm going to do it. And you know, he was a little nervous at first, but he's really supportive now, and he's helping me with the shots. I'm doing the mock cycle right now, which is kind of like the practice round before the transfer, just to see how my body does with the hormones and if there's anything they need to adjust. So yeah, like she said, I did the psych clearance with my husband. That was like a 2-hour call, and then a medical clearance. So they do like an ultrasound and go through your history of the childbirth and labors with my 2 before, just everything you can think of medically.
Did you have pretty like standard pregnancies for your other 2?
Yeah, they were both really easy. I love
as easy as pregnancy is, but
yeah. And I just love
no complications.
I love labor and birth. Like, I just think it's so cool. And I'm actually doing stuff right now to be a doula, just because it's something that really became a passion of mine. Yeah. So,
like, God bless you, women who do what, oh God, those women are amazing. I'm like, they saved me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I just felt like it was, you know, I had everything going, so why not at least try? So.
Okay, so you're going through the mock right now. When are you expected to do like the official transfer?
I can answer that. So The transfer should be like sometime in early October.
Okay.
And the way it's looking, it might literally fall on my dad, who has since passed, his birthday and our wedding anniversary, which would be crazy. It's 10/10 is the date. Yeah. So so
Something
it
special
literally
about
like,
that one, like meant
yeah,
to be.
I know, right? Yeah, that's how it
Wow.
feels.
How exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting, but also like, are you feeling now like I have to like protect, like don't get too excited, but like,
Yeah, I mean, so many things have not gone how I thought they would, that I'm sort of at a place of like acceptance, but and just letting go,
let's just
which
see.
I hope that kind of like mentality sticks.
Right.
Because I had a lot of like dates in my, planned, and that's been really hard. So I'm trying to just not have too many expectations with this next journey.
I am such a planner that it would be like
Me
really hard to
too.
like just let go, just let go.
I think I've been forced to. I don't think, because
Mhm.
I'm definitely a planner too, and I don't like the unknowns, but I just don't have another choice right now. So
Yeah. Okay. Some questions I had come up when I was just kind of thinking about surrogacy. Do you have to do anything to like prepare yourself mentally to like kind of give up a baby that you've carried? So I only know of one person that's ever done this before. I have a friend whose her sister went through breast cancer also. So she was the surrogate for her sister. And I was always curious. The sister lives in Australia. So after the baby was born and they could travel, they went back to Australia. Like I always wondered how that felt to carry a baby and then see them go versus like you guys are best friends. You're always going to see that child. Like, do you prepare yourself mentally to like hand over a baby that you birthed?
I don't know. We were kind of talking about this before. I think it's almost easier knowing I'm going to see him like almost every day. And kind of like at the end of the day, it's not my baby, it's their embryo. I'm just the house, growing the baby. And it's just so special that I think I'll always be like, attached, but it's just, yeah, like I said, it's so special that they get to have their baby after everything they've gone through. So I think I'll just be so excited to finally give that to them. But yeah.
And so selfless. I always think of like someone who does this for someone else. It's so incredible, like such a selfless thing. Okay, I did see a post that you had about breastfeeding. So you were going to use donated milk. Tell me a little bit about like how that process goes.
yeah, so I mean, that company's so cool. I think they take it and they can like powderize it, and then it has like a longer shelf life. So Alexis she liked pumping with her kids, and so she's offered to do that. So we'll definitely, we'll take whatever we can get, and I'll use formula too. I'm not like against formula by any means, but this company, we can like send milk and then they powderize it so we can feed him, breast
That
milk
is
for
so
up to a
cool.
year, hopefully. Yeah. So
Right.
we'll probably
As
do a
someone
mix of
like
the two.
I had a hard time producing enough milk, especially at the very, very beginning when I was in the hospital. With my third, they were like, "Hey, do you want some donated breast milk to supplement?" So with my first, I had to use a little bit of formula until like everything came in. And
Yeah.
by the third, it was like, "Wait, you have like a bank of breast milk that's been donated that I can use
Yeah,
that?" Like
so
it
cool.
was so cool that they had that. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people are going to be following your story. We're all rooting for you. Can you share where your Instagram account is, what it's called, and how we can follow your story?
Yeah, of course. It's Surro Besties. So it's SURRO Besties.
That is so fun. Okay. We're rooting for you. I cannot wait to
Thank
hear. I'm sure you'll protect yourself a little bit in October and not share any news until we have anything to share, but I'm excited to hear more.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you so much to these two incredible mamas, MC and Alexis. If you were like me, you are rooting for them and cannot wait to hear their story. So if you'd like to know more about them, make sure to follow them on Instagram at surrobesties. And like always, if you are loving this podcast, make sure to follow it on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, give me a review on Apple, and all those good things so that we can continue to share the message that everyone burns their first pancake. And until next Friday, I want to remind everyone to just keep flipping.